Hi everyone, my name is Emmanuel Anugoran. We're the CAD group number 26. We did case study 5 and we're meant to create a new model for the ViewMaster, and that's our final model. So yeah, the objective was to create a new front panel for the ViewMaster, I can clearly see. But we had the company that gave us that funded our research had limited funds, so we could only work based on the funds they created. Another objective we had as a group was to make sure that the front panel, the new front panel, will perfectly fit into the old front panel. Now that's the old model of the ViewMaster. So yeah, my partner Nikesh is going to talk about the initial ideas we had.
Okay, so this slide here is just a bunch of different ideas that we had going into what we kind of wanted to do with the front panel and how we want to design it. There are 4 different designs on this page. The one on the picture on the left is simply the 4 designs and a couple of designs of what it would look like on the back. And the picture on the right is basically what could we do if we didn't have the limitations of money and so on and so forth, and materials and marketing. Okay, so the first design here, this next slide here, is just for simply easier handling. So what happened is the front panel will be a little bit, would have 2 sections at the bottom that are just a little, basically an extension of the front panel. That way when someone holds it, they can hold it onto there. And the trigger that you push in order to change the reel, to spin the reel itself, could be on either of the 2 handles so that it's easier to push. And it would be within a thumb space, that way they don't have to move their hand too much. So that was the idea behind that. The second design, which is simply the rounded shape, which is exactly what it sounds like, the group decided that the original design was a little too boxy, a little too square, and it would be a little too difficult to hold on to after a while. So what the group decided to do was just what would happen if we just made it entirely round. That way your hands would fit the contour of the front panel a little better, so it wouldn't cramp up, because it wouldn't have to situate itself in such a way that it would cramp up your muscles, because it's in a really awkward position, or it's being forced to be in an awkward position to hold the front panel and the entire thing, the entire toy. So the third design is, the group decided to have a little fun with the third and fourth designs. The group figured, okay, well, what's being popular right now, and obviously Star Wars is very popular. All the comic book movies are coming out now. So we figured, why not do something that's very iconic? And of course, Boba Fett is a pretty iconic character, so why not do it? It's not exactly the same, but most of the lines in it are close enough that if you saw it in a colored detail, then you should be able to figure out that, okay, this is based off of the Boba Fett helmet. So that was the idea behind this. Of course, because it is Boba Fett, it would probably sell better just because it has it's branded since it's Star Wars and has a very popular character on it. The last design, which is the 4th design, follows the same premise as the Boba Fett one, so it's simply Batman. It takes this general shape of the Batman helmet, but because obviously it's on a face has a lot of planes, you can't make it that detailed, since production for that would be very, very costly. So it's very basic, but it still maintains the same general shape. That way you can still know it's Batman, or based off of the Batman mask. Okay, so this last slide that I'm going to talk about before Rose talks is a possible design. So the group basically asks, well, what could we do if we didn't have any limitations, especially the money? What could we design if we didn't have to design just the front panel? If we could design the entire thing, what would we do? And this is one of those possible designs. This design talks about, or shows, or depicts basically a saucer. That way, when you're holding it, it's like basically kind of like holding a sandwich, so it's very comfortable. And the switch that you would use to change the reels could be on either side. That would be easily accessible to either of your hands. Also, the good thing about this design is that the actual eyepiece that you put to your face would fit the contour of your face, or the shape of your face, so it would be a little bit more comfortable when you're holding it onto your eyes. So Zinni, which is her, obviously, will talk about the final design selections.
So after the Batman, we decided to do something more aesthetically appealing and more fun to children. So we settled on settled on doing the bunny, and as you can see, the curves are well defined. Unlike the Batman, we had problems really defining the curves because of the shape of the Batman. So we had to do this and make the curves more defined, and as you can see, it also fits the shape of the face, and you can easily hold it too by the back panel. So we also made the new design in a way that it would fit the old back panel, as you can see from the picture here. So we had to make the dimensions equal to that of the back panel so it could fit perfectly. So Anthony here will talk about the limitations that we had while designing the model.
For the limitations for the design project, we had a problem with the dimensioning. We had to make sure that it was they could all like play into the same area together and also come out well defined. As she said, we also had problem finding a product to design that was appealing to children and kids. And what my partner yesterday discussed is what came out outcome of it. There was also something else. The curves were very difficult to design, and because of that, it wasn't easy for us to find something with a smooth curve. But once we were able to get what we needed, it all worked out. And we're going to talk. That's everything. That's it.